the land of YouTube. So it was recently brought to my attention. I can be a little hard to follow. I get it. I've only had a handful of conversations. Whereas, we consciously stayed with each other and I wasn't just fucking around, jumping from topic to topic, trying to scramble somebody's mind. And so I'm here again, Joe rode out a trail. And, it's funny because I'm sidelining a highway, yet I'm almost completely oblivious to the fact that the highway is there. You can hear it in the background. Some people probably are only paying attention to that, maybe, in their own respect. Like, I see everybody on the road, they're doing their thing, they're going to work. But I don't really care. I'm over here on my trail and really actually oblivious to it, except for pointing it out right now. With that exception in mind, addressing something that was pointed out to me is an attempt to stay focused on one topic today, so I don't jump around and play mind games, basically. So back to energy drink madness. I'm not just advertising these drinks. I love them. And the title is Healthy Warrior Energy Drink. So I wanted to focus on the title of the drink and see if I could stay on track while I'm on this path. And Healthy Warrior, right? So if I'm a healthy warrior and I'm over here enjoying my health on my path, and it seems like a divided war of focus that could go on in my head between that highway over there and this path. Yet almost every day I'm oblivious to it, like I said. Maybe for some reason I pointed it out today because of criticism that was constructively thrown in my direction at my request, that I'm a little hard to follow, to keep up with, and that maybe, if I focus a little bit, I could possibly have a better message to deliver to someone. And so I look at Healthy Warrior, just that by itself, and everybody being a warrior in life. Beautiful red-tailed hawk just landed up there. You won't see him though on the camera. That's not gonna work. Yeah, you can't see him. Come on, I'm gonna stay focused. Hold on, let me look at that hawk. So, everybody goes through life a warrior in one way or the other. Some people just die hard, committed to the struggle that life presents right out the gate. But if we think back to when we were young, life wasn't really a struggle. Not for most of us. There are some that have had just a hellish experience and, learned how to survive from a really young age. And those people are tough motherfucking survivors, right? There are warriors that have survived their whole life. And I don't see living. My alarm turned off my video. So back to the track. I don't see living as surviving. I see that as a struggle. I see survivor or warrior mental complex as something that humans do. But is that really living? I mean, every morning I'm out here. Now I'm just on a different time clock, right? I'm on my circadian rhythm. And I think that's part of being a warrior too. It's knowing your own self. Then that old statement, to thine own self be true. And there's real power in so many different things. And so as I address the warrior mentality, or I went as far as to survivor, because, if you're a warrior and you've been at war your whole life and you're a survivor, you made it, right? Well, what were you at war with your whole entire life? Was it the nature of existence itself? Was it the nature of another man? Was it the nature of another woman? So, diving really deep into a topic, or any topic that I choose to put my mind to, is something that I can easily process and do. I may be a little hard to follow because my mind rationally connects a lot of different topics. And I see that as a flow state. I see it as an opportunity to effortlessly flow through my existence here in life. So I'm no longer surviving. I'm not a survivor. I'm not a warrior even. I remove all that and I just think this is effortless. And I watch it happen. So my life up until this point, yeah, there was a struggle. I mean, if you look at any great figure, any artist, they all have some kind of similar background story that they started in a rough place, they went through hell, and then they come out smelling like roses. And even roses come out of ground that hopefully had some kind of shit in it. Like fertilized. I mean, we fertilize the ground with our bodies. We fertilize the ground with our shit. It's active, it happens. It's part of this fucking living process that, life comes from shit. Even like has a different kind of war. A war with terror. Like a warrior against terror would be all the people that just put up with hell at an external source that, it could look like the government, it could look like natural problems. We got fires, we got PG&E turning off power, then we got this invisible host named COVID, and all these people here that we are with right now are survivors of really crazy trauma at one time. They say that to have a paradigm shift, in which case, if I detailed breakdown paradigm and the shift of paradigm, you will understand it if you're listening. But to have that, you just have to have basically critical mass or more than 51% focused on the same thing. Now, a paradigm is a version of your reality. And there's walls. And every single day we walk through our life and we make decisions. And if it's a new decision and it's not really correlating with our path directly in front of us, then we're like, I'm going to venture off somewhere new. As a warrior, I would think that most people would want to venture off new places. Some people don't. They stay happy right where they're at. So once you make a decision within your paradigm, the walls come down and no longer are you in a box or cage, but you have infinite possibilities that you can actually change your reality with. And that's how people change their life. As a warrior, I would figure that you would be proud, and I'm like healthy warrior, right? I would figure you would be proud to be healthy. I mean, you could just be a warrior for your health, and then you eat right, you maintain that, and you do not do anything to harm it. Like, feed your body right. I technically feed myself with all kinds of shit, so I eat everything. I don't give a fuck. That's my body. Look, I'm not too bad. I'm losing weight. Lost 18 pounds in the last 2 months. And it was just cutting my diet in half and regularly exercising. I mean, as stupid as it sounds, it's a really hard thing for most people to do. I find my problems stemmed from a lack of impulse control. I would, based on society standards and the way that I see the stage set, I would follow my impulse to overconsumption and laziness, over-consuming laziness. And that was me. I mean, I say was me because I'm no longer that person. I have adapted and overcome as a warrior for myself. So there's no real external war. But so many people go through life, I say but, old cliche thing pops into my head. My dad's echo saying, no if, ands, or buts. And I also think be deliberate. Be deliberate. Not deliberate. Be deliberate. So how would I deliver a message directly if I don't cut out the if, ands, or buts? Curious question. Well, to be deliberate, I will have my intention focused in a direction of overall maybe self-health, wealth, love, and light. Those are a little mantra that I have. Or it used to be some silly positive affirmations of love, fame, wealth, health, happiness. And it's because I always had my eyes and my imagination set on this greater stage. I always saw it in the back of my mind as a real possibility. And as a warrior for myself, instead of a war that I'm facing externally, because most people just go through life looking outward, wondering why they're a victim, like their ship is at sea getting blown around and they have no self-control. I say most because it's what I observe. Not everybody's like that. And the funnier part is the more people that have it together, they have their shit together, they do their 9 to 5, they're like everyday weekend warriors, and they go out and they party on the weekend, and they got their shit handled. Those are the ones I think that are suffering the most. Partially because they think they got it all. But there's something right beneath the surface, and it's kind of like an undertow. It's a really strong rip current, let me say that. And once you put your toe in, it just kind of pulls you in immersively. And then you wake up to a different reality. A reality that, maybe most people don't want to fucking really accept. So, building blocks for psyche or subconscious, because subconscious, believe it or not, projects every single thing you see into this world. Your paradigm being the box that's created by your subconscious. So the building block below that would be equaling imagination to God. So if you get in your mind and you think, wow, imagination is God. How big is that? And then some people don't have a fucking imagination at all. So I'm saying, and I'm pointing out, maybe the people that don't have an imagination are the ones that suffer the most in their plain Jane 3D world that think they have it all. So if imagination is God, how would you grow that? Maybe get in touch with your inner child? That'd be a good war to fight. I would wage war against the idea that most people could change the world with love and light. Granted, they find an imagination state of mind and actively, as a responsible adult, live that way, finding presence. Because if you look at everything in a childlike fucking awe, as in a youthful state of mind, and you observe it just like you were newborn, just like you're a baby checking out the ground for the first time, that's a real cool way to stay present, people. I have not had a sip of this fucking thing, and my mind goes like this from one cup of coffee. Ain't that some shit? I know some people right now that have to down like 4 or 5 energy drinks a day, or 4 cups of coffee in the morning. They drink a jug of coffee just to get through the day. And I see that also as over-medicated warrior. Because in another video, I was touching on the idea that you can take 1.5 pounds of aspirin and you can fucking die. That's over-medicated, right? It'll just kill you. Make you bleed out or something, probably. Kill your liver. Or you can take 1 aspirin and it'll keep you from having a stroke, or it'll keep you from having a heart problem, and it's really good for you. So maybe a lot of us are over-medicated warriors, whereas we really don't need to be. And if we find out our humanity, our basic humanity, and realize our God-given human divinity as being human, and realize that we submitted ourselves to this life with no control over the outcome when we step foot into it. We go into a world that already has so many different pre-existing rules, foundations, beliefs, our family, our parents, everybody tells us what to do, how to do it from day one. Those are the building blocks of psyche. And we take psyche and we run around with it like it's us. And we go, well, yeah, I'm pretty much a product of society, or my social circle, or, my community. And then most people are very content and happy with that. Some people live a beautiful expression of life that way. Others, they experience some damage, trauma, an initial ow, I like to point out. And then they take that and they recreate it. Others don't. They take the pain and they transform that shit into something good. Those are the people I love. I love both, actually. I love kind of everybody. Because whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, everybody's in the same goddamn boat together. Just everybody has a different boat. And you can look at how they decorate it with art. Or maybe maybe they decorate it with normality. Because that's what's supposed to be happening. And they were, really ingrained with that at a young age, or indoctrinated into the idea that this is my role. Okay, so on the warrior status, I wage war against what everybody's preconceived notion would be of life. And I challenge everybody to look at a deeper meaning. Hopefully I wasn't too hard to follow this morning. Hopefully not. Hopefully, some part of this message actually sinks and creeps in to where it's haunting and it looms in the back of a mind. And then it causes one to think, to rethink. I could only aim to inspire thinking in others in a delicate way enough to not do damage. So right now I'm just putting videos out. And I don't plan this shit. That's almost like me bragging or tooting my horn. I do not plan any of it. I do have a lot going on upstairs. Clearly it comes out in a chaotic manner sometimes. And it's really hard to follow. I can gather that. I even watch my own videos and I giggle. I mean, I preview it right before it's going on. But I'm like, I'm not fucking changing a thing. And I wish the fucking alarm did not break up my content, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to merge the two videos together. And the first half of the video is important to where I led to, the healthy warrior topic. I'm out here in nature every morning, and I hardly see anybody on this path in the morning. Not at the bright and early hour I get up. They say early bird catches the worm. And it's probably true, because, the worm would be out in the morning from, a night of dewy goodness. And it would be like, not worried about the light, not worried about drying out. And then that bird seizes the opportunity and eats the worm. Okay? So I challenge everybody to think about this in a warrior mentality. Are you the bird or the worm? I know who I am. Who are you? Is it something you're comfortable with? Are you happy? And if there's any area of your life that you're not happy or satisfied with, why not work on it? Why not look at it? Because you're worth it. Positive, right? Is it positive for me to challenge people to look at themselves or to provoke thought? Because provocational ideas or concepts, or being provoking in nature, that can also be looked at as an ill measure. Like I'm provoking someone to a fight, right? Or maybe a war. provoking someone to a war with themselves, or looking at the fact that maybe this whole lifetime they have been exactly at war with themselves, that nothing else was there. It was all just a mirrored effect of what was on the inside of themselves, maybe stemming from an initial impact, like an ow, and then just spiraling out of control. I want to cite something that I've heard, and it's not my original concept, but most people can probably relate. If you spill your coffee on your leg in the morning because you're rushing, and it hurts, and it burns, and you're like, fuck, and you have to go change again, then you're late for work, and it just spirals out of control from there. Like you had an incident in traffic because you're trying to rush. There was some road rage because, well, you're in a bad mood because you spilled the coffee. You know, and it just spirals out of control downhill. People call it the Mondays, or, you know, whatever. You can put an excuse on anything. I point out that it's that initial ow that shapes your reality. As in, we recreate it unconsciously without knowing it. And it all definitely depends on our focus. I would gather that if you just dismissed it with a happy, like, well, I guess I was supposed to be feeling pain right now, and it was accidental, maybe I should look at that and slow down, and then be very alert for the rest of my day and slow down. And then with a smile, continue on my day and go to work. Then I'm not rushing through traffic. Then I get to work at the time I'm supposed to be there, which maybe it's a little late. And the explanation would be, well, you know, Joe, I was having a cup of Joe, and you wouldn't believe it, man. I slipped the cup of coffee, but scalded my leg. I don't think I have 3rd-degree burns, but it hurts like hell. And I had to go and change. I was on my way out the door when this happened. Couldn't believe it. I didn't put the lid on right. Or, you know, the other route, where you just fucking try to suffer through it, rush, anger, all this fucking shit comes out. Well, because maybe there's some unconfronted feelings inside that someone has been waging a war with. As a warrior, most people hide all that shit. They don't have anybody to let it out with. They build it up. Or they're a victim. And then they take it out on a less than person, because that's the human way. That's what everybody trains you in society. I mean, it's right here in our face every day. I don't see it too much anymore because my perspective is shift. And the shift is my perspective. So as my focus changes, I don't see it. Like, I literally don't see it so much. This is all like past experience that I bring up as a memory of what was, not what is. So I'm no longer creating this in my active reality. Inside, believe it or not, we are all creators. Everybody walking around with their own little channel, be it social media channel, be it their expression that they walk through life with. And it's better to attempt to infect the world with light and love versus being part of the problem. Please, and I'm asking with a beg, comment. If you've watched this whole video, 20 minutes long, comment, let me know what you think. Share, like, subscribe, do all that. I love you all. Have a great day.